So 22 months in, almost 2 years. July 1st will be 2 years taking my vitamins, not smoking, working out, the Debinone, all of it. Almost 2 years, and I just can't believe how far I've come. It's pretty crazy. Shrinking optic nerve. So in my trips to Miami to go see the LHON specialist down there, neuro-ophthalmologist, they told me I should get an MRI to investigate all of this different eye pain and stuff. So 2 weeks ago, I went and finally had the MRI after about 5 months trying to get in, scheduling, and just a lot of problems with my insurance. And the original order came from Florida, and I live in Washington, so different states, and I don't know. But I had to work through a lot of it, and finally got the MRI done 2 weeks ago. They did just a normal MRI of my whole brain and head area, and from that, they said that my optic nerve and the chiasmus or siamus, not exactly on the pronunciation, but the area where the optic nerves crisscross and the optic nerves themselves, they said had both shrinking. Don't know where they're coming up with this. One thing that I was really hoping they had done is 10 years ago when I first went blind, I had MRIs done at that time, and during the acute phase where my optic nerve was under attack. And during that time it would have been swollen and all pale and ugly, and they'd asked me multiple times for my information on my old records so that they could get them, and so they never got those records. So what I was hoping for didn't happen. I was hoping they were comparing my normal optic nerve now to my optic nerve 10 years ago when I was first going blind. That's not what they were doing. They didn't have my records. So that was the determination that my optic nerve and the siamus, I can't remember what he called it, but the area where they crisscross, both of those, the area and the optic nerve itself had shrunken or is shrinking. That's all they told me. That's it. So the following week I went in for a more detailed MRI of the orbits, my whole eye and optic nerve and the whole section dealing with the vision, I guess. And had to wait a couple of days and called into my primary care physician. Basically, they confirmed what they said the first time, that my optic nerve had shrunken or is shrinking. Would need time to figure out if it is shrinking or if it has shrunken or shrinking. Either way, not sure, but I don't think that's good. I don't know. So continuing the timeline, I am going to see a specialist here in Washington, neuro-ophthalmologist. He is the one who actually originally diagnosed me with LHON and did so very quickly and, no hassle involved at all. In September, my left eye went out. Might be optic neuritis. Hopefully it'll come up and down the peak and you get most of your vision back. 6 months later, my right eye went out. He said, more than likely this is something called LHON, and did a blood test, confirmed it, and that was it for my diagnosis. It was the first thing they checked into, and it took just 6 months. From the first eye to the second eye, then they confirmed it. So I'm hoping that he can look through my eyeballs and look at my optic nerve, and I don't know what he's going to do, but hopefully we can get something figured out. I don't know. My eyes have hurt like crazy so many times for so much that it's such a hindrance to my life. I'm not messing around when I say that my actual eyeball feels like it's going to explode out of my head, and I can do nothing but just try and sleep in the dark for like as long as it takes. Sometimes that's like 3 full days. I don't barely eat. I don't do anything besides try and sleep. Take Imitrex, migraine medicine, Excedrin migraine, Aleve, Advil, painkillers, you know, whatever it takes. I mean, I need to get back to my life. So that was the whole reason in finding out all this optic nerve stuff, is this eye pain. Just trying to investigate that and see what's going on. So tying that into the next part about just how amazing my vision has, like, just gotten so well. It is amazing. Like, I can't, when I talk to friends or just people I know, might put like a 60% plus on the sight that I've gotten back. And, you know, I don't have like a mathematical equation for this or anything like that. It's just how I see everything around me and, you know, in daily life and using the computer and all of these different things. My vision's gotten a lot better. My eyes hurt for 2 weeks straight. Actually, for the last 2 weeks, through all this MRI stuff and everything. And lo and behold, my vision got better. Lots better. A lot better. It's really crazy how much my left eye, the eye that's always been worthless, my left eye, like I said, went out and it was almost completely black. And then over the last few years, I mean, I could cover my right eye and barely make it around. But from here, I could see the camera and it's a good 4 feet away from me. With my left eye, I'm able to use my magnifier and read. With my left eye, I do have to scan across rather quickly, and my peripheral vision picks it up like it's absolutely perfect vision. It's insane, like how good certain areas of my left eye are. It's scary. Now I just need the rest of it, you know? So just in daily life and seeing everything and how I can operate, I would say that my left eye is almost as good as my right eye was before I started this. So that's a big, big improvement. I'm just trying to fathom how I could put it into context, really. I mean, I can walk around with just my left eye. I can watch TV with just my left eye. In the same way that I used to be able to with my right eye, which is the only reason I was like a functioning person. It's because my right eye's vision was good enough to get around and use the magnifier. Now if I pulled my right eyeball out and I didn't even have a right eye, my left eye would be good enough to support my life in the old way that I didn't really like very much. But it's amazing, the improvements. And hopefully I'll get something from my neuro-ophthalmologist, you know, stating what my visual acuity is. Just from knowledge of going to so many eye appointments and things, I would guess that my vision in my left eye is like 2600, something of that nature. And my right eye is getting below 2300. Last time I was at the doctor in Miami, they told me that my left eye, the bad eye, was 2800 and my right eye was 2300. So to be able to, you know, kind of guess as to what my vision is based upon improvements, I would say that my left eye is 2600, 2700, something in there, and my right eye is 2200 or less, you know, 2150 maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, it's all different measurements, and I'm sure that the doctor that I'm about to go see is going to differ a little bit from the doctors that I have seen. So, you know, that's about where I am. 2700 in the left, 2300 in the right, 2200 in the right, something of that nature. Just, you know, trying to get along and get more sight back and do better and continue furthering every avenue of my life. The vision is almost second nature as to how I'm doing it, what my routine is, all the vitamins that I take. I mean, it's been almost 2 years now, and it's just part of me. The first couple of months were really hard, and after 6 months, it felt like part of the routine. You know, like almost 2 years has gone by now, and it's really just what I do. It's who I am. I take 1 billion vitamins. Not 1 billion. That's fast. I said that to somebody recently, and they thought I was being serious, and that's far too many. It's actually like 2,600 a year. 2,600 pills a year. So my vision's getting much, much better, and to come up with a way to kind of, I guess, prove that to everybody with these goofy videos that I do, I put together a little bit of me reading on the computer. It's a database program that I use for cold calling and stuff, and just click through a whole bunch of leads, so it's random, and just read through that and let you see exactly how good my site is. And you know, like I said, I guess prove it. Really the last thing that I want to talk about is you know, job and career and everything I've been talking about. My last video, I was about to start something and I was really excited, and I've been doing it a couple weeks now. So what I'm doing is cold calling and setting appointments for health insurance agents to go explain everything about this healthcare reform to people, and hopefully gain them as clients. So there's all kinds of good things that tie along with that, but I'll be getting my health insurance and life insurance license soon, and then after that I'll get the property and casualty, and I'll have my license pretty much to do all forms of insurance, and you know, hopefully this is really going to work out well. So far it's gone okay. Could be better, I think, on my behalf. You know, this damn eye pains made me call out twice already, and I've only been working for about 3 weeks. And with the MRIs and stuff, I've had to take time off to go to the doctor's appointments. Quite frankly, it really pisses me off that I have to deal with this stuff, and I can't just go to work until work's over, and be fine and have energy at the end of the day. And you know, it's really annoying to have to wear sunglasses in a dark office with 50 people you don't know walking by all the time. People probably think I'm really weird, but you know, to look at a computer screen, I got to be in complete darkness and sunglasses on to take all the brightness out of it. And I even had my boss turn the brightness on the monitor down. Just trying to do everything I can to stay at work and get these appointments. You know, moving forward, everything should just get better and better, and more lucrative. You know, with the vision thing, hopefully it just keeps getting better and better, and work will just be easier and easier to come to me, and you know, just make my way through it. So I will update you again soon on this optic nerve fiasco, and you know, just to update on how things are going in general, but mainly on the optic nerve and how my vision is doing. And enjoy the video of me proving how much I can read. Talk to you guys soon. Alright, so instead of just always talking about how much I could see, this is a good way to prove it to you. This is my cold calling database, and it has, let's see here, over 1,000. 1,475 different records in here. So we go over here just to the next and just click it a whole bunch and change all the information, and watch how much I can read. It's pretty awesome. So up at the top would be the business name, and that would be King County Housing Authority, and that was pretty easy to read. King County Housing Authority. And down in the smaller text, I do have to get closer, but this is amazing. Phone number 206-315, and for the name we've got Marsha Murphy, M-A-R-S-H-A, Marsha Murphy. So another record, let's just skip a whole bunch here. And again, business name at the top is Champion Window of Seattle. And again, down here in the smaller stuff, we've got Kent, Washington 98032, and Jim Harwatz, Harowitz, Jim, Marowitz. So my ability to read 12-point font, 14-point font, the phone number is a little bit larger, and at 14-point font, the name is 14-point font. These down here are 12-point font, not bold or anything like that. And then this up here, the top is the business name I've been reading. That's in 16-point font and in a blue color. But just up here at the top of the page, skip a whole bunch of records again. Random as it could possibly be. I look at all the records, just go. So again, stop. And division, excuse me, vocational rehab. DIVISION, division vocational rehab. So just clicking a whole bunch and changing everything. My ability to read all of these different things. This is my notes section down here, and this is 12-point font that's down here in this column where my notes go. And let's see, let's change it a whole bunch of times again. And I do have to get close, but it says 5 to 9. Change. 5 to 9. So zoom in on that so you can see. It says 5 to 9. That would be employee size. And we'll just skip a whole bunch again. And 5 to 9, 5 to 9, 5 to 9, 5 to 9. Let's see. And now that says 10 to 19. But my ability to read that very closely, it's amazing. For 8 years, I would just look at this and barely be able to tell that there was something up here or writing in fields, things like that. This is my magnifier. Just the button on my mouse pops up the magnifier, and you can zoom in and out and all that kind of thing. But simple magnification, and I'm able to read pretty easily. But my ability to read without any magnification, I do have to get close, but it's possible. And it was never really possible before, other than in the last couple of months. Starting in 2013, really, using this database and this information and the different size text of font size, all just getting better and better. When I first was able to notice that I could read any of this stuff off the computer screen, I was basically nose to monitor, and my ability when I do that now is like picking up almost all of it at once, and just very clearly my ability again to just randomly pick through the information and read some of it. First class flooring, so I can't just peek at it and read everything, but my ability to read something, it's way better. And through all of this eye pain and everything, the only thing that I could say that it is, without somebody really knowing what it is and telling me, is that my vision's getting better. Simply when that happens, my eyes hurt. I don't know anything else to say. But that right there, that was a good way to really show you and in essence prove that I can see better. This is another example here as to how I am working through life. Post-it notes with regular pen, my handwriting. I'm able to read, write, and do all this kind of thing. So simple, stupid stuff, but proving that what I am doing, what I have done, what I've been doing, all that I've been through it's paying off. So I don't know if I have a shrinking optic nerve, if the eye pain is caused because of healing, but we'll get it figured out and we'll just keep seeing more. So be good. Alright, so I think this is the third or fourth continuation of this video. I started this video at the very beginning of April, the first weekend of April, and now it is April 16th. So things have taken a while. I've had 3 MRIs, I've had a few doctor's appointments, a specialist neuro-ophthalmologist who diagnosed me with LHON almost 10 years ago now. Yesterday I had a spinal tap done. That's kind of why I'm laying here in bed. I dragged my mattress from my bedroom over here into my game room where I always do the videos, where my TV's at, and just been laying here. This is pretty much the most upright I've been in the last 24 hours, trying to ensure that I don't hurt myself and let spinal fluid leak out and give me a headache, and I go back and do it all over again and get what they're calling a blood patch, where they stick it in and stay right outside of the puncture hole, and then they shoot your own blood in there and it seals it up. So don't want to do that. So I've been laying here being good, listening to my doctor. So I've had 3 different MRIs in the last 3 weeks. I've had a spinal tap lumbar puncture. I've seen the doctor a couple times, really trying to get this all figured out. So a week ago, last Thursday, on the 11th, I went and saw my neuro-ophthalmologist who diagnosed me with LHON almost 10 years ago now. And he said that my optic nerve did not shrink, or is not shrinking, that from the effects of LHON back in the days, there was a slight thinning out of the optic nerve. And there's nothing happening now, and it's nothing to worry about. So he also saw a lot of white spots all over my brain, and from that we went and did a spinal tap after they confirmed I had white spots on my spine as well. So now I'm in a waiting period of 10 to 15 days, somewhere in there, to find out the results of the spinal tap. I have gotten on some medication for the eye pain. That's what all of this started as, and congratulations, it's ended up as Merry Christmas. You have MS. So things have been interesting the last 2 weeks. I've been pretty distraught at work and not able to just keep my mind on things, but trying to get through it. I keep having to take time off for all these dumb doctor appointments and MRIs and stuff, and it's really pissing me off. Remember how excited I was about this new job and how good everything was going to be, and pretty much since then it's all gone downhill health-wise. My body is fighting me so hard with fatigue and just a lot of different things that lead me to believe I do have MS. It's not 100% diagnosed yet from the white spots on my brain and the white spots on my spine. The doctor does say, this looks like MS, let's have a spinal tap and do some blood tests and different things, and we will confirm that. So right now, it's only me who thinks I have MS. You know, it took me about 4 seconds to look into symptoms of MS and say, check, 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 check. I mean, it's not something I want, and I'm not trying to fit myself into the category of anything. I already have enough crap to deal with. I mean, all of us do. It's not fun. So now adding all of this other stuff, my body fighting me on top of that, you know, it's kind of challenging. So basically, if I have MS, I've had MS. And if I have MS, then I'm going to kick MS's ass. Flat out. I've gotten a lot of my sight back, which is kind of funny because my neuro-ophthalmologist, from the slight amount of testing we did, a VFT, a OCT, and some different eye tests and things like that, just simple stuff. He told me my vision actually has decreased. It has gotten worse, in his opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. my opinion is the one that matters because I'm the one who looks out of my eyeballs. And trust me, I can see. The demonstration of reading on the computer and things, there's no way I could set that up. I can't memorize how many times I'm going to click the button and memorize the information. It's completely random, and I'm able to read it. I can grab a piece of paper and read the headings and different things. I can pick out words. I can't just read, no. But my peripheral vision in my left eye is getting so much better, and the central vision and the peripheral vision in my right eye has just gotten so much better over the last 2 years. It's amazing. The way that I see out of my eyes is incredible. And now with this MS possible diagnosis, like I've done with LHON, I'm going to do the same with MS and fight it myself. Keep myself as healthy as I can. Keep myself as energized as possible, because I really have a big issue with energy levels. I'm not talking about I can't go running today because I'm tired. I'm talking about 3 minutes after I get out of bed, an hour after I get out of bed, 3 hours after I get out of bed, 7 hours after I get out of bed. My body feels like being here in bed. That's it. Like, I am exhausted. And I have been getting up early for work, and I've been working longer hours than I have pretty much in my life. Embarrassing as that is, I've never really worked full time, and I'm exhausted. And I think that this fatigue on top of just being tired like a normal person would, my schedule's changed and I feel used to waking up early and things, but on top of all of that, I'm tired physically. I don't want to move. So just in that is the number one symptom of MS, is true fatigue, and not just being tired because you've done a lot or you've exercised. I talk about how much I work out, and I work out all the time. And thinking about all of these things, I work out a little bit all the time. I'm always doing push-ups. Brian, go set the table. Okay, I got to do 20 push-ups first. I mean, just simple little things all the time, but I've tried to put in an hour workout, and it's just not for me. I don't have the physical energy to exert to keep going. My workouts are, I'll do a round of 30-pound curls and different types of things, and then I'll drop down to 15 or 25 and then to 15, so I'm kind of doing a drop weight type of situation. But I'm only doing 4 different exercises, 8 reps, usually 2, maybe 3 sets for each weight. So it's not really that much of a workout, but it definitely keeps me worked out and in shape and tone and everything. But again, like I'm saying with the fatigue, it's something I can't really do for 2 hours and just feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I got the pump and I'm all buff and good workout for the last hour and a half. That's something I really don't do and don't feel I can do. After some working out, I need a break. And I kind of am realizing that I break my life up like that, like chores on the weekend. I have to clean my bathroom, vacuum, dust, laundry, iron business clothes, all these different little things, but I kind of place them throughout the days on Saturday and Sunday so that I'll do something and then I'll have an hour and then I can do something, and naturally, I don't know, it's just how I've structured my life, and I'm starting to realize maybe it's because I just don't have the energy, and these are just the ways I've found to cope naturally through the day. I'm not sure. Something else with the MS that I do suffer from is balance and dizziness type of stuff. I have a lot of balance issues in turning around and trying to walk. I kind of spin out and I'll grab myself on a wall, or I'll be kind of stumbling around a little bit and just kind of lean up against something and play it off a little bit. It does happen quite often, and it's, I don't know, I just always thought it was whatever, and could be that it is an actual issue or symptom because of MS. I'm going to be finding all these things out, but these are things that are in my mind right now, and trying to kind of figure out. So, back to the medical procedures and the timeline. Last Thursday I went and saw my neuro-ophthalmologist. He said, you have white spots on your brain. Let's get you in for an MRI of the spine. This last Saturday, on the 13th, I went and had that done. And on Monday, the 14th, or 15th, excuse me, they said that I did have white spots all over my spine as well as my brain. And then I went in for a Spinal Tap yesterday, on the 15th. And not really a big deal. They got a big 50-inch TV screen and this big thing that hovers over your back, and it sees through all your skin and your bones and your nerves and all that stuff. And they use a needle that literally can fit inside of a needle that they draw blood with. So it's very, very small. They numb the back. Then they go in with the very small needle through 2 pieces of your spine. I'm not exactly sure what everything's called, but they put the needle through there and they let the ligaments hold the needle, and they puncture into this sac, which is like a water balloon that runs from the top of your head, kind of the base of your skull, down to kind of your tailbone. And think of it like a long water balloon is how he explained it to me. And they're just going to go in and poke a teeny little hole in the bottom and let some of that drain out. So what they did was they put it through my back and punctured the hole in the thing, and then just let it sit there for about 20 minutes. Didn't feel it, didn't even know it was there from the numbing. No big deal at all. So it took about 15-20 minutes for me to fill up about 10 cc's or milliliters. I'm not sure what they said they were measuring it in. And then pretty much pulled everything out and cleaned me up, and I was done. The one thing that they did say for that is I want to lay down for the rest of the night. So, again, on my bed. It is about 1 o'clock the day after, and I'm still trying to be in bed as much as possible. I gotta do some ironing and different little things, but I have the rest of the day. So, pretty much just gonna be laying here and making sure that I don't hurt myself. But pretty much that's where we're at right now. Is I've had a spinal tap done. I gotta wait 10 to 15 days for results on that. And when that comes back, I'll know for 100% certainty if I have multiple sclerosis or not. I do not have a shrinking optic nerve. I do have white spots all over my brain and my spine. And I've had a spinal tap to confirm whether or not I have MS. So, pretty eventful 15 days so far this April. You know, like I said, I'm not going to sit around and just be like, my body hurts, I have MS and LHON, and just cry about it. I'm definitely mad. But being mad is what fueled me in the first place. All of this LHON, fixing myself, finding out about vitamins, all the research, talking with people all over the world, it all started because I was really, really pissed off at a video game. Why would blind people play video games, you ask? I don't know. We shouldn't. It just makes us freaking really mad. I was playing on a 12-foot wide TV screen. The players were bigger than me. I was playing a football game, and I just got mad and hopped on the computer and started finding out how to fix myself. So once again, I'm fucking mad about this whole MS thing. Like, I need more shit to deal with, right? Hey, fellow LHON person, would you like at least another disease on top of what you've already got? I mean, come on. So, food, nutrition, that is, I think, going to be my main point of attack. there is a video called Minding Your Mitochondria. I've seen this for many years now, at least 2 or 3 years, and definitely cleaned up my diet a lot. Almost zero food out of a box, almost zero cookies and treats and things like that. I would say the worst thing that I put into my body are Pepsi and Snickers bars, candy, and that's really mostly it. But basically, the diet would go to a hunter-gatherer's diet. Basically, all greens, all vegetables, all fruit, berries, things like this. Some fish, just all different kinds of things like that, and in enormous portions. We're talking like 4 platefuls, like heaping dinner platefuls of vegetables and different things. Not 100% committed to that yet. Like I've said before, I don't even like vegetables or fruit for the most part. So it would be a huge change for me. Pretty much changing my diet to entirely vegetables. So I'm excited to see what can happen in my LHON by doing this, as well as, you know, treating the symptoms of MS. And the person who came up with this is someone who suffers from MS. Terry Hall, I can't remember her name exactly. I know her first name is Terry. In the movie that she produced, or the video clips on YouTube, are Minding Your Mitochondria. And it's also a book that she wrote explaining how to do all of this. Anyways, that's one area where I plan on attacking this. You know, that's going to be another huge change in my life. Just simply because I don't like vegetables. We're going to be eating a lot of vegetables in the future, possibly. So, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air right now, whether or not for sure I do have MS. And just working my way through it. I mean, I've come so far with my sight. Whatever any doctor's tests say in any part of the world or in any kind of test, I personally know that my vision has gotten incredibly better. Like, way, 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 way better. When I started all this and I said I want to drive by the time I'm 30, not that unreasonable. If I were to start getting sight right now and didn't stop getting sight back until my birthday, June 12th, which is almost exactly 2 months away, I would be extremely close. It would be 50-50 in my mind to being able to drive. Like I've said, I'm able to see a lot of green lights during the daytime when it's bright and sunny out. I can see the crosswalk sign, you know, all kinds of different things. I'm starting to be able to see the license plates, the actual, in Washington, the license plate is white background with green lettering, and I'm able to start telling that there's green stuff there, where a year ago I wasn't even able to find the damn license plate. So I can't tell myself that my vision's not getting better. It is. So again, I say, bring it on. Bring it on. Because I'm going to figure out how to fix this. I'm going to figure out how to make it manageable for me. I'm going to figure out how to move forward and forward and forward. Because that's all I'm doing. I'm freaking really excited about my life. And I am really pissed off that my body is just giving me more to fight. And it's only fighting me while I'm trying to fight. And, you know, I'm kind of upset about it. I don't know exactly what to say. I mean, I don't want to just go off into a, oh, poor me kind of crap, but it's bullshit. So we will fight, and we will prevail. And so this kind of wraps up the video of what is happening and what has transpired.
might have MS. My sight's getting better. Work is on the right track, and I am definitely in the right place. The people who I'm working with are just amazing people, and over the next couple of years, we're going to take over the insurance industry. So it's really, really good. And then I got stuff trying to drag it down. I'm just not having it. So I will update you guys after I get the results, and I'm definitely going to go and see a specialist in MS. He's actually in the same office as my neuro-ophthalmologist. So the three of us can kind of team up with LHON, MS, and me, and kind of attack all of it. I don't know a doctor who's going to tell me eating vegetables is bad. I do know lots and lots of, almost all doctors who have said vitamins aren't going to fix you. But undeniably, from my point of view, which is the eyes that are broken, I can see. So, staying positive, moving forward, fighting, and I'll be letting you guys know how everything's going. But everything's gonna be cool, and like I've said, staying positive, DTC, and fighting.